Hello, welcome to the Hugh of Borg broadcast for this day, the 6th of October in our year of our Lord 2025. Apologize for not getting this out to you sooner, but I'm teaching grade 8 now and my brain is applesauce by the end of the day. It's a lot of work and I'm not complaining because I love my kids, but it's a lot of work. So anyway, I'm doing this on the short. Okay. What has happened this weekend and what has happened today? Well, we have seen that the United States has engaged in illegal terrorist operations, destroying fishermen, looks like tuna boats, in somewhere off of the coast of Venezuela. That's a war crime. We don't have any evidence that anybody did anything wrong. We just have the statements by Pickled Pete and the rest of the MAGA aristocracy that is saying that this is so therefore everybody has to believe it. Chicago is now, for these people, enemy territory. The raid in the last couple of days with the apartment building where people were actually dragged out of their apartments, American citizens, nobody was charged. There were no warrants, at the middle of the night with Black Hawk helicopters and military armed aggression is something that you might see in a war zone were you being really brutal and not trying to win friends in the community. This tells me that the United States is no longer a sane country. We already know that. Children are being ripped from their beds, naked, zip-tied together and separated from their parents and put in the back of panel vans. The amount of damage that this does to a child and a family and a community is, well, anybody who's following me probably understands this. This is the Holocaust. This is Rwanda. This is any sort of genocide that you want to talk about. That's what we're seeing here. This is residential schools. This is people being screamingly taken apart. This is not going to end well. I am happy to see that the Illinois National Guard have stood down and are not going to be participating in this. That is probably the only bright light that I see with this right now. Schools are getting tear gassed by ICE agents out front. As a teacher, I can tell you that if that happens out front of my school, that means the rest of my entire day, probably the rest of my week, is basically shot as far as providing effective instruction to children about the lessons that they need. The amount of damage that this does to children, especially children who are also, some of them are refugees who are fleeing combat and fleeing conflict, is unimaginably horrific. This is going to put back their healing and their journey to building themselves back up by years. This is horrific. This should not be happening. The United States National Guard is opting out, as I said. Now, from a Canadian perspective, effort in Canada. Are we safe? Well, if you look at the Conservative Party of Canada website, or if you look at the United Conservative Party website, all you see is that Canada is broken. Carney is destroying Canada. We're going over an economic cliff. That's all bullshit. That's not happening. All you're seeing from them is basically messaging that they are being paid for by MAGA from the United States, from the American government, through the CIA and through various other agencies, whatever agencies are still left to do it, in order to undermine and weaken Canada. I ask you a question right here, right now. Given that the United States is attacking Chicago, Portland, other cities across the country, given what you have witnessed so far, do you functionally, honestly understand or think that Canada is not immune to this, that Canada is not in the crosshairs and is not meat on the table for these lunatics in the South? To our south, no. We are for better or for worse, and it sounds like hyperbole, but I actually firmly believe this, we are now in a position where we must functionally consider ourselves that we are going to be at war. We are now currently, and what Carney's government is doing, is what the British government did in the lead up to the Second World War in the late 1930s. They're buying time in order to build up our defense industries, in order to build up our population and prepare people for the assault that is going to come. If you think the Americans aren't going to come after us after they're going after their own goddamn cities, you're an idiot. I mean, just leave, don't follow me, like whatever. But we are now at that point in time where everybody in Canada must functionally accept the fact that we are on the menu. Our society, our way of life, our children, our children's future is now being seen by the United States as just another thing to grab. If you want to know what they want to do to Canada, they don't see us as any different from everything that the United States has ever done in Central and South America. Look at the fruit plantations and Del Monte plantations, and I cite Smedley Butler about the American intent with respect to Canadian resources. They want to take us over, they want to subjugate it, they want to take everything that we have. They will rape us. So, do not panic, because Canada is one thing that the United States does not have. We got a solid people who are very good at dealing with calmly resisting such issues. By calm, I don't mean necessarily we accept it. By calm, I mean that we see the threat when it's coming, we prepare our defenses and our winter stores as best we can, and we meet the threat where it happens. For now, don't lash out, don't panic, don't get too crazy about it. We got this. If Britain and Canada could survive everything that has happened to us in the last bit of our history, as I said in my last podcast, I'm very confident we can survive this. It's a short podcast. I apologize for that. Hopefully by next week I'll have my Thanksgiving weekend, so I'll have a little bit more time to put some more thought and effort into it. But we're living through very difficult times. Reach out to your neighbors, make friends, and accept the fact that the next few months might have some hardships and things like that. As I said 2 podcasts ago, make sure you have your 3-day packs. Like, I'm not talking bug out bags, but I'm just talking, make sure you've got enough money and medicine and the basic supplies that you need in order to keep yourself happy and reasonably comfortable in place, so that if we have disruptions in our supply chain because numpty down to the south does something stupid, we've got something to fall back on. I will be here. I'll do my best to provide whatever instruction I can or whatever advice I can. I mean, I'm just an old guy who's teaching grade 8, but Canada has strength and spine and steel in our soul that the Americans lack. They have forgotten the lessons that the greatest generation learned. We have not. We've got this. We're going to be okay. We will survive. It's going to be hard. Yeah, there's going to be some really bad days ahead. But if we work together, we don't lose our minds, and we help each other, we got this. We are now living with a Nazi nation on our southern border that might or might not fall into civil war before it gets to us. If they fall into civil war first, that buys us a little bit more time. But never underestimate the threat. Never assume that they're not coming for us, because we are certainly on the menu. So, plan, prepare, like a teacher, do what you have to in order to keep yourself together and keep your family safe. We all got this. We're on this together. We'll get through it. You have Borg out.